salute PFF first off, because as I've said on numerous times, man, when you're creating content, it's always a lot easier to critique what has been created versus you being the person to actually create that original list or that original piece of content. So for them going through and actually creating their top 32 edge rushers and even breaking them down into the tiers that they did, hats off to them for that, because I personally wouldn't have done it.
They shouldn't have made the list if they were going to do it this way, though.
But the beauty of the list is it allows people like us to critique it, to have a stance on it. And that is what the list was created for, right? You put out your opinion on your platform. Well, that gives all of us people a chance to come over there and holler at you about it. No different than when we drop our videos, Deke. You know,
this might be one of the worst I've ever seen.
People, but it's all opinions. People holler at us sometimes in the comments. They be like, "Man,
no,
most think he know everything. Most don't know nothing." They be like, "Deke, oh my God, I can't stand Deke." Like everybody got their little vibe. So we gonna respect PFF. We just gonna give them their little. We appreciate y'all doing the hard work. But that is where the friendlies go away, huh? That's why all those that little pleasantry, it's out the window now. All right. So Deke, it's time to talk about this here bull jive. So if you would like, could you please read off? Just start at the top of this thing, or would you want? Yeah, because I want to start at 32. I don't know if I want to start at 32. Let's start at. Let's start at when we're going back. Can you do that?
Well, they already messed up tier 1.
Okay, I'm with you. Trust me, I'm with you, baby.
So, yeah, they broke this up into tiers, and it just basically goes from 1 all the way down to 32. At 1, they have Myles Garrett. At 2, Michael Parsons. 3, Nick Bosa. 4, our guy, T.J. Watt. 5, Max Crosby. 6, Joey Bosa, the guy that's hurt all the time. Tier 2, they have Hassan Riddick at 7.
Shout out to
at
my
8,
dog,
Rashawn Gary. 9, Trey Hendrickson. 10, Von Miller. 11, Danielle Hunter. And 12, Brian Burns.
Shout out to Von.
Now we're at Tier 3. Khalil Mack at 13. At 14, Jalen Phillips.
Okay.
15, Josh Allen, the edge rusher. 16, Montez Sweat. 17, Zadarius Smith. And
Shout out to
18, Matthew
Zadarius.
Judon.
Okay.
Tier 4. At 19, DeMarcus Lawrence. At 20, Shaquille Barrett.
Shout out to
21,
Shaq.
John Franklin Myers. 22, Aiden Hutchinson. 23, Josh Uche. 24, Danico Autry. 25, Randy Gregory. And 26, Chase Young. At Tier 5, the final tier, 27 is Sam Hubbard. 28, Josh Sweat.
Shout out to Josh.
29, Greg Russo.
Shout out to Groot.
30, Brandon Graham.
Shout out to
31,
5'5".
Cameron Jordan. And if you're wondering if they've missed a name all the way up to this point, you're not wrong. They just, unfortunately, have him ranked at 32, and that's Alex Highsmith.
Shout out to Alex. The disrespect, though. The disrespect.
Listen, this article, this rankings, this tier system that PFF has, actually got me doing some work. Actually got me digging deep, doing extra research, because look what I'm about to pull up on my screen here.
Oh.
Did an Excel spreadsheet,
Bro,
actually.
what? Deke, stop playing, bro. You're legendary.
Did an
Deke,
Excel
Deke,
spreadsheet.
you're legendary, Deke.
For all 31 of the players that they have listed over Alex Highsmith in their season from last year. I got sacks, QB hits, tackle for loss, and forced fumbles. Like, those are all key categories for edge rushers, right?
I can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. This is an amazing document Deke got going over here, man. Your spreadsheet, your Excel game is on a thou wow, bro. I could have used you in college. When they gave me Excel in college, it kicked my butt, Deke. It kicked my butt. But, bruh, that is fire. Y'all done messed up now, man. Y'all done messed up now. All right, get it to us, Deke. What's happening, man?
So Alex Highsmith last year had 14.5 sacks, 20 QB hits, 12 tackles for loss, and 5 forced fumbles.
Let's get it.
So how that ranks out of all the people that were listed on this in front of him.
Please talk about it.
Because if you're going just straight tackles for loss and you're including all the positions, then the numbers could get a little convoluted. So this is just amongst the edge rushers, amongst the guys that were listed right here. So he was 5th in the league in sacks. 5th in the league.
5th.
But he's ranked 32 on PFF's list here.
Make it make sense.
He's 11th in tackles for loss with 12. But he's ranked 32 on this list.
Make it make sense.
16th in QB hits. All right, so middle of the pack. But honestly, out of the 4 categories here. Is QB hits the least important?
Mm-hmm.
If you have sacks, tackles for loss, forced fumbles, is then QB hits after that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everything else, you're at least registering something that impacts.
Because that,
I mean, QB hits impact the game, but you get what I mean?
No.
Like,
QB
it's
hits,
actually
but then you also
affecting
and
the
also
play.
say pressures as well.
Pressures.
I throw pressures in there as well.
I don't have pressures.
Okay, I would say because he got a ton of pressures as well, man.
I don't have pressures. But
Yeah.
he's first in the league in forced fumbles, yet he's ranked 32nd on this list.
Make it make sense.
Based on these calculations, he should be in the top 10.
Easily.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If we're talking what he's done this past season, absolutely.
If you're looking at the guys that they have in the top 10, I mean, this list is so jacked up in many different ways, but I know we're focused on Highsmith. The other thing is, I don't care if TJ Watt was hurt last year. He's the best edge rusher in the league.
Thank you.
I don't care.
Myles Garrett is not
I could
better
care
than
less.
TJ Watt.
Yeah, what
bro.
is the deal with this infatuation with putting Myles Garrett number 1 in all these rankings lists over the last like 2 or 3 years?
Well,
Madden has him as 99 overall. All this. What's the infatuation?
This is my thing, and I've talked about this multiple times. Up until TJ actually won the depot, for the ones that wanted to make the argument, I was like, okay, I can understand where you come from because they do play different positions. Yes, they're both edge rushers. Yes, they both get sacks, but one is an outside linebacker, one is a hand in the ground DN. One plays on the right side, one plays on the left side. So just by that alone, in terms of pass rushers, we do look at it differently. And we talked about how the numbers one way or the other are dope, but who are you beating out one way or the other, right? Left tackle versus right tackle. And that's why I was like, up until TJ got the depot, if you wanted to make that case, cool. Make that case. Go for it. I don't agree with it, but I could understand it. You can't keep that energy now with where TJ has ascended to. Myles has not ascended to the levels that TJ Watt has ascended to. Myles can pass every eyeball test you want. Myles can look as great as you want. Myles can get 15, 16 sack seasons as much as he wants. He does not have what TJ has had in terms of his ceiling. And when you make a case for TJ's floor, you look at where TJ is in terms of just across the board, Myles has not been able to impact it just as a pass rusher like that. But then let's take it a step further. We said TJ impacts the game in the run game as well. He impacts the game. We've seen him get interceptions. We see this dude get tackled for loss. We see this dude, hold down his side of the field. Like, he does all these different things. So I'm with you,
Game-changing forced fumbles.
Yeah, and not just game-changing, but clutch performance times as well.
Fourth quarters, overtime.
Not you got 2 sacks, but it was in the first half. No, you giving me this in the fourth when I needed the most. When the game was on the line the most. When these plays, as we all talk about, aren't weighted the same. These are the type of plays we're referring to. And that's what TJ has consistently done, I can say, since his rookie year. Because I was watching it. I was with that. Nobody on. So when you talk about just the Myles Garrett versus TJ part, I'm just like, I don't see how you have Myles ahead of TJ. If you wanted to make it a Micah Parsons, okay, let's talk about the versatility of it. Let's talk about,
now he's going full-time edge rusher.
He's now full-time edge rusher, but also my argument is he still has not done it long as TJ has done it just yet. So once again, he hasn't had a season that was better than TJ. When they both went head-to-head, TJ beat him out for the awards. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And I love Michael Parsons. I'm a Michael Parsons guy. Like,
those
Parsons
top
nice,
four
man.
are amazing players.
Yeah, he's
TJ
nice.
Watt, Parsons, Bosa,
nice.
and Garrett.
To me,
I'm taking TJ all day over any of those guys.
Bosa is dope. Bosa's availability is part of his issue. But Bosa is dope. Bosa, when he's healthy, he going to get in that super elongated track stance, coming out the blocks, and he getting after you. You know what I'm saying? He going to sit there with that, let me get my groin feeling good. All right, now I'm ready to go. But
yeah, and I don't want to hear the injury excuse for TJ Watt.
Because if you
not
bring up the
being
injury
higher,
excuse, then you got to bring it up for Nick.
Well, I won't even say that. Just the fact that they have Joey Bosa in the top 6.
He's another one.
Last year, he had 2.5 sacks.
Yeah.
And he was banged up like most of the year. So, how is he in the top 6? I know he's awesome when he's actually out there and healthy, but dude's hurt
but can you
like
not
no
say
one
that
else.
about TJ?
Huh?
You see what I'm saying? But can you not say that about TJ?
What?
He's awesome when he's out there as well. Like, I feel like TJ's awesomeness ascends a Joey Bosa's awesomeness.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
a Nick Bosa's
I don't think they
awesomeness.
can make the injury argument for
Right.
having TJ at 4 if you have Joey Bosa in the top 6.
Absolutely.
And you have other guys like Rashawn Gary, who only had 6 sacks last year.
Right.
You got him at 8. Like, I think Highsmith
is
should
ahead
be
of
over
that.
him.
Highsmith's ahead of that right now.
Yeah, I think Highsmith should be over him, but like, Yeah, I'm just waiting for TJ to get some respect on these edge rushers list, and
that is still crazy.
It's just not happening.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at the fact that the stats of when TJ Watt's not out there, our record
we don't
and
win. Yeah.
our pressures that we get as a defense, our sacks as a defense, and just the points we give up as a defense. It's insane. It's night and day.
So let me think.
And he was playing hurt. He was actually playing hurt last year. He grinded that out. He grinded out that second half of the season.
Because now,
still balled out.
Look, in the top 6,
still gave us some TJ Watt stuff.
In the top 6, 2 of those guys got depots, right? Nick Bosa, TJ Watt. Miles doesn't have one. Parsons been runner-up twice now.
I think so. Yeah,
he's been running up twice. Crosby, no. Has Joey Bosa been? I don't think he's ever been a finalist.
He's hurt all the time.
Yeah. So I'm like, you got. Have those been the past 2 depots? TJ and Nick.
Yeah.
Yeah, TJ first and then Nick this past year, right?
Yeah, and before that was all Aaron Donald.
Yeah, 3 in a row. Yep. And you got Myles Garrett at 1 over the past 2 depots.
Now Garrett has had just straight up consistent seasons. He's out there. Like last year, he had 16 sacks, but.
Come on, bro.
It's just not the same.
Come on.
Like, there's a reason.
Depot is a very good player.
Well, I was going to say, like...
He's an all-pro. He is dope. We're not tripping on that. But
I don't know if it's just because we're in Pittsburgh, but, like, you don't hear about Myles Garrett the way you do about TJ. I think even on a national stage.
Yeah.
Like, how people revere TJ Watt's impact to that Steelers
it's scary
defense.
At times.
Yeah, I think it's different than Myles Garrett. Like, the 16 sack... Like, I don't remember any one of Myles Garrett's 16 sacks of last year. Or like how it impacted the Browns game, right?
Yeah. Like with TJ,
it was a field
like,
flipper,
man, we
or
know when
it was
TJ,
a game changer.
Like when TJ make a play, it's like, bruh, like we all felt that. Yeah.
So TJ is 1, but the Highsmith thing is just. I already brought up Rashawn Gary at 8. Wait, come on.
Wait. TJ technically owns, or he's tied the NFL all-time sack record for Michael Strahan, 22.5.
Yeah.
Miles' biggest was what?
And I think that he missed 2 games. He missed, that year.
Yes, remember? Yeah, because he left early for 1, and then he was injured for multiple.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Miles' best season was
might have been this year.
The 16 and yeah.
16. I think it was. I'll double check.
But
he's had double digits in consecutive
Well, no, he's
years.
consistently in the teens. Yeah. But TJ consistently outperforms him though.
Yeah. Yeah, last 2 years he had back-to-back 16s. Mm-hmm. Before that, 12, 10, and 13.
Yeah.
Good player. I mean, he's in the top 3 or 4. There's no question.
Comparison Myles Jack to put TJ Watt in his search, though. You see, right at the bottom. Go to the bottom way. Other way. Right there in that comparison spot, bottom left. Compare. Yeah. Type in TJ Watt and in his search.
So hold on, Miles. Oh wait, it's gonna actually show me both their stats side by side.
Yeah, just click on it. It's got the career.
Why is Josh Allen popping up?
Because you ain't click on the name. Back up, man.
Sabotage.
Yeah. So type in TJ.
Come on.
Oh, bro, what you see? That's because you watching them funny videos, man. I seen that little lady pop up there. She was a little shorter.
It's not letting me type in a name now. Well, hold on. So Myles Garrett has 74.5 sacks.
Yeah, you should be able to just click on the compare thing, and it should divide it up for you, man. Split them up half and half, same screen for you, man.
TJ Watt has 77.5.
Yeah. But I wanted to go the side by side just so we could get there going.
It literally won't let me type in.
I'm gonna try on my end, man, because I did see how yours. Like I said, look, you feel like you watching them funny vids, man. What's that pop up I'm seeing on your side? I got it. Hold on. I got sus, baby.
Yeah, nothing is. It won't let me type in a name.
All right, TJ Wizard. I want your career compare. A little compare and contrast for the culture. And here we go. All right. Well, head to head, TJ Watt is 6-1-1 versus Miles. Miles is 1-6-1 versus him. Unfortunately, Miles has the better playoff record against us. Or against TJ. He's 1-0 versus TJ. All right. TJ 87 games. Miles 84 games. Okay. So 3-game difference. TJ Watt 6 picks. Miles 0 picks. Cool. TJ Watt 77.5 sacks. Miles 74.5. TJ Watt solo tackles, 243. Myles Garrett, 177.
That's a big difference.
TJ Watt forced fumbles, 23. Myles Garrett forced fumbles, 13. That's a big difference.
That's a big difference too.
Fumbles recovered, TJ Watt, 7. Myles Garrett, 4. Still, like I said, all right. Now let's get to the awards and accolades and all that. Pro Bowls, TJ got 5. Myles has 4. All Pro, they both have 4 All Pros. Depots, we know only one, and that's TJ. Let's see, what was this? I'm trying to see another thing that we could compare with it, because to me, I'm just like, I don't see it as a debate. I feel like TJ is the guy. I feel like it's a clear thing. Career QB hits, 162 from TJ Watt, 142 from Myles Garrett. You want pass deflections as well? I got them too.
It's probably in TJ's favor.
TJ
You
Watt,
don't even gotta tell me.
37 pass deflections for TJ Watt, 13 for Myles Garrett. Did I say more?
We're basically talking about every facet of the game.
I'm just, solo tackles. I gave you solos. Assisted tackles. TJ Watt, 90. Myles Garrett, 86. Combined tackles, solo and assisted. TJ Watt, 333. Myles Garrett, 263. TFLs, TJ Watt, 88. Myles Garrett, 77. Like, what else you want? What else you want from me, Deke? Am I missing something?
I don't think you gotta go on.
It's a 3-game difference between their careers, and we know TJ's definitely missed or at least come out early of multiple. So it's got to offset and balance out at some point in time in that thing. But yeah, man.
Yeah, I think you're just telling me everything I already knew. Really, the stats are just backing up what my eyes are seeing.
Hey, I just try to report, what you wanted to hear. That's it. Just report the news, man. Don't shoot the messenger, baby. Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. 2 years ago, cool. You want to make it cool. I don't see how we can continue to do that, though, man. Not at this stage.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But now to Alex Highsmith. 32?
Yeah, he should be top 10. Should be top 10. You got Rashawn Gary at 8, who has 6 sacks from last year. He was a little banged up, but I think he played more than 10 games. He was like 9 or 10 games. Trey Hendrickson at 9, had 8 sacks last year. Cool. Von Miller at 10. I know he was hurt, but he had 8 sacks. Neil Hunter, 10.5 sacks. They got him at 11. As I said, it doesn't have to be strictly about the sacks, because Highsmith was top 5, but you also look at his QB hits. He was tied for 11th there, led the league in forced fumbles as well. Like, my God. You have DeMarcus Lawrence at 19. He had 6 sacks. Shaquille Barrett, 3 sacks last year.
So this is how I look at Highsmith, man. Like, to me, I like how they split him into tiers. I still don't like the numbers, though, because Alex being at 32 seems just outlandish based off of last season.
How do you have Randy Gregory and Chase Young ahead of him?
So check this. This is what I was going to say, man. For me, I don't know the number I put him in, but I'm going to explain why. I have him kind of in that tier 2, tier 3 mix solely because of this, right? When we talk Hassan Reddick, when we talk Trey Hendrickson, Von Miller, Brian Burns, Daniel Hunter, Khalil Mack, right? They have had to be their like Batman on their rosters right now, right? Whereas for Highsmith, he hasn't got the chance that Trey Hendrickson had. What I mean is this: Trey Hendrickson in New Orleans is Alex Highsmith in Pittsburgh. Trey was playing opposite Cam Jordan, so even though Trey was putting together 13 sack seasons down there, it never felt real because it was like, you're the number 2 guy. Trey went to Cincinnati, did the exact same thing, and now he's on this list and he's talked about way differently because he got a chance to actually show that he could be Batman by himself. Not saying that it's right, but when I think of Highsmith, that's how I look at him right now versus some of these other guys. I'm like, is he more talented? Is he a better player? I personally feel like he is, but what the responsibilities have been in terms of the ask is just a little different. Now, he could make a better case for it because when TJ was hurt, he still was able to produce, but the rebuttal to that is, what did it feel like when we were watching them games? And we both could remember the pass rush at times not being what we wanted it to be. That was my only thing with Highsmith. I think 32 is way too freaking low, but I have him in that tier 2, tier 3, where it's anywhere between 7 to 18. I don't know where he is in that 7. Is he closer to 7? Is he 10? Is he 9? Or is he 12? Is he 15? Like, I don't have a strong one way or the other just yet, but I look at him in there because these are some dudes like Khalil Mack. Even though Khalil statistically he didn't have a better year than Highsmith, but Khalil Mack being on the field and what that is going to be asked to do and what it's going to be asked to do in terms of the responsibilities, the attention it's going to draw, that's a little bit tougher of an ask than what we were asking from Highsmith right now. But I think Highsmith is capable of that. We just haven't seen him do it just yet. So I think hopefully he doesn't never have to, because that would mean that he's had to leave here, or TJ is no longer doing what he's supposed to be doing here either. We don't want to ever see that. I hope they stay Batman and Robin and we just roll like that.
Yeah.
But that to me is the only difference. It's like, you've been here where, yes, you're doing your thing and you're dominating at times, but it's a lot easier to be Klay Thomas, to be Klay, than it is to be Steph. You know what I mean? Like, both are elite, but what we asked Klay to do was very different than what they asking Steph to do. And that's kind of how I see the Highsmith versus these guys for right now. Now, that could definitely change in a year, because the more he does it, or if he puts together a 12 and another 13 or something like that, it's like, nah, man. Like, he's showing that this is not a one-off, that not only is he improved his floor, but now he is in that elite tier, because some of them dudes have also done that multiple times as well. So that's like my only hang up with him, but that's why I have him in that range between, 7 to that 18, like anywhere in there. I feel like I can make a case for it one way or the other, but 32 is absolutely just foolish to me though, man.
It's asinine.
Yeah.
To piggyback off your Klay Thompson point, like prime Klay, even though he is Steph's sidekick, you're still taking him over X amount or whatever percentage of other NBA teams' number ones, just because of how good he is.
And that's what Highsmith can get. Like, I feel like he showed, this was like that first year when it became like, oh, these are the Splash Brothers, right? But it was still like, all right, Steph is still
we need
the
a
guy,
name for
but it's
these
the Splash
guys.
Brothers. And then it kept going. And after they won it in 15, you're like, oh, no, this is real. To me, last year was this is a Splash Brother. Now it's like where can y'all take this then? Can y'all actually take that to the next level?
Stay healthy,
Yeah.
TJ.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I just find it funny if you read through their explanation for Highsmith.
Mm-hmm.
Finally,
I saw that,
Highsmith was productive in TJ Watt's absence, playing
silly,
941 defensive snaps with 14.5 sacks and 55 pressures, and then that's it.
It is silly.
Hey, we just have him at 32, even though
Seriously.
he has 14.5 sacks, which is fifth amongst all these guys. Don't have any other explanation why he's at 32.
Yeah. So, like, the name that got me was Josh Uche, right? In New England. They got him at 23. Josh Uche, the difference to me is this. He's in a role where he's getting to be, or trying to prove he could be Batman. I think Highsmith could be in that same role and do way better. But I'm like, why would y'all? I still don't feel like that's enough, though, with him specifically, to have him rated ahead of Highsmith right now. Whereas, like, when we said Khalil Mack, it's like, nah, like, that's still a little bit different. Jalen Phillips in Miami, I got a chance to see that this year when he was growing into. I'm like, all right, I got you a little bit.
Yeah, I'd have him top 10 in that tier 2.
Mm-hmm.
PFF did it again.
So, yeah, man, that's my thing. Because what if you swap Brian Burns off of Carolina and put him in Pittsburgh, and you put Highsmith in Carolina in Brian Burns' role?
We'd have to see.
Yeah. But, like, to me, like, when I think of swapping them dudes out or any of, that's why I was like in that 7 range, because Hassan Reddick.
We'll put Brian Burns up then.
Yeah, because
maybe they have him too low.
Yeah, because I'm like, Hassan Reddick went for 14 of them things too. He went crazy out there.
Get Joey Bosa out of the top 6.
But the problem with the Bosa thing is, because of when he is healthy, we know what he can be. But the health is the issue, though.
Always is.
Yeah.
Always is with him.
Because I feel like the top 6 guys they named in tier 1 have that crazy elite talent that Highsmith per se isn't that caliber of athlete, but Highsmith makes up for it with the other ways that he plays. I think that's when I'm thinking of that tier 1 versus, the tier 2, because the tier 2, those are still some freaky athletes, man. But Highsmith's game and the way that he's played it and the way that he's produced makes up for it. But that's part of the things. Like when I look at Brian Burns, I'm like, Brian Burns moves athletically a lot different than Highsmith. But it still doesn't take away from Highsmith's production. But that's when you talk about these lists, that's a part of it too, man. I still think it's insane that they have this man at 32, and that was the explanation
Highsmith
they gave,
disrespect tour
How
continues.
is that the explanation for it though? Like he has a ton of
started
sacks,
with
a ton
the
of
Pro Bowl
pressures.
snub, and then continues into these PFF rankings. I'm not surprised about the PFF rankings.
Well, who you said on
I'm not
PFF?
surprised.
You said that's Collinsworth, right?
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what So yeah.
I think they had another one where Minka is not the number 1 safety.
All right, and even if the list is as is and it's tier 5, all right, Brandon Graham is my dog. I'm a Brandon Graham guy. Like I say, he's been holding it down
Randy
since we came
Gregory
out.
had 2 sacks last year.
Thank you. Okay.
They have Chase Young ahead of him at 26.
B. Graham
too.
still had double digits, but his double digit was a very different situation than Highsmith getting his 14. It was very, very different, man. In terms of what the ask was, in terms of the role, it was very different. Even with Russo, shout out to Greg Russo. But Greg, if you're gauging it off of athleticism, you put him ahead of Alex. But if you're seeing right now, player for player, who's the better, more productive, more consistent, more reliable, as a Buffalo dude, still you rocking with that. You feel me? Like you're gonna take. Like I don't see how, unless you're solely seeing athletic ability, because one's a first rounder. That's the only case that you could make that Greg Russo in today should be ahead of Alex Highsmith. I don't see that.
Yeah, it's just a terrible list.
Yeah. Heck, and if we got a Robin up here, because Sam Hubbard is the Robin of their group, I'm taking Highsmith's Robin over Sam Hubbard's Robin as well, bro.
Yeah, they have Hubbard.
That's
at
another way.
27.
Let's say you saw they snuck that in there. I'm like, yo, he's a Robin. He's definitely a Robin. Russo's a Robin. Tavon, that. You're not telling me any of those Robins are better than Highsmith. I don't see that right now. Even if the list is as is, I don't see that, bro. Yeah.
Dude was 5th out of all these edge rushers and sacks and led the league in forced fumbles. I think that's got to mean something.
I'm with you, bro.
That should mean something. That should get you at least into the top 15.
You would think. But
At
like
least.
you said, it's PFF, bro.
At least.
You know
I'm
it's
saying
PFF.
top 10.
Get your mans. Get your peoples, man. Get your PFF crew.
Nah, this is just,
Get-
it is
get
what
your-
it
get
is.
your mans
It's just
in there,
another
man.
offseason, another shitty PFF ranking.
Get
That's
your
all.
PFF crew. I don't know who got worse rankings. PFF or Madden at times, man. Whenever the Steelers Madden ranking come out, I be like, yo, why y'all be playing my guys, man? We ain't even talking about that shit though. But seriously though, man, this is crazy.